Chris here from Fastlane Academy, and in this video, I'm going to cover the steps for how to sell your business and get a proper valuation for it. Now, there's never been a better time than right now to sell your business because right now, buyer demand is at an all-time high that we have never seen before. So it is definitely a seller's market right now, with valuations being much higher than they have ever been. So waiting any longer could very well cost you six figures or more in lost valuations for your business if and when the market shifts. Now, I know that from experience, so take it from me. I've been a small business owner for over 25 years, and during that time, I've owned several local and both online businesses, and I've sold 3 of those, and it was definitely not a seller's market back then. So if I had hung on to them just a few more years until now, I would have probably got at least another $100,000 for them.
Son.
So due to this unusually high buyer demand, I'm getting ready to sell my 4th one, which is one of my online businesses, so I can take advantage of this business buying frenzy that's going on right now in this market. So I'm going to cover today the most important things to consider when selling your business and how to find the right business broker and valuation for your business whenever you're ready. So what I did for this video is I reached out and interviewed several business brokers, and for this video as well as some others that I'm going to be publishing soon on this topic, so I could get the most accurate information, and I'm combining that with my personal experience. So it was quite enlightening because I thought that you could just pick any business broker, which is pretty much what I did the first go around to sell your business, but I found out that is definitely not the case. Some of them specialize in specific types of businesses. Some of them have minimum net profit requirements, as well as some other nuances. But fortunately, what I've done is I have performed all the research for you, and we can connect you with the right one for your business by using the form in the description link below this video. But before you do that, let's talk about some very important factors to consider. So the very first and most crucial step is determining if you can actually sell your business. And the most important rule of thumb here is how profitable your business is. And the reason why is because listing your business with a business broker, that's going to give you the best chance of selling it for the highest price and selling it quickly. And the reason why is because they have access to hundreds and often thousands of buyers that you will never have access to if you try to sell it yourself. And in fact, all of the brokers that I interviewed said that this was very surprising. They said that they had buyer lists so long that they weren't even focusing on finding buyers anymore, just sellers. They have, I guess, long lines of buyers lined up waiting to buy good businesses. And one of them even mentioned that for good business listings that he posts with fair asking prices, he gets dozens of buyers calling him every week trying to be the first ones to look it over and make an offer. And it just really surprised me how much money there is out there just waiting to snatch up good businesses quickly. It's a lot like the housing market right now, at least where we're at in Florida. It's a good problem for them to have, as they've never had to deal with this issue until now. And in the past, they really had to search long and hard for buyers, but not anymore. So it's also a great problem for you as a seller, because once again, this is a seller's market. And if you choose an experienced business broker, then they will usually get you a much higher price and sell it a lot faster than you could. However, they have to put in a lot of work. They have to vet your business. They get all the paperwork together, find buyers, presenting your business to buyers, maintaining confidentiality, legal hurdles, negotiating, selling prices, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And after we interviewed several of these brokers, what I found is that most of them won't accept your business unless you have at least $100,000 or more in annual net profits. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule, especially if you have assets like commercial property and some other things, but that's the typical minimums that they want to see. Now, what's really important here in determining your net profits is not just looking at your profit and loss report or your tax return. That's a big mistake. Because with most businesses, there are what they call owner benefit add backs. So for example, if your business is showing a net profit of say $75,000 a year, but you're writing off personal expenses such as cell phone bills, vehicle payments, and anything personal, even though they may be legitimate business expenses, those get added back into the net profit. So let's say you had $25,000 in owner benefit expenses that you were writing off and $75,000 in net profits showing on your reports, then your actual net profits are $100,000. So that's something that an experienced business broker can help you figure out, and you can get a general idea of what that would be yourself before you pursue that avenue, just to get a general number. So if you think you're at that 100K net profit mark or above, then it would definitely be worth contacting a business broker to kind of discuss it further and get a free valuation. But most of them, including the ones that we can recommend, offer complimentary consultations to help you figure that out. And they're not going to be pushy salesmen, and the reason why is because they really have to put in a lot of work. So they're not going to take your listing if they don't think they can actually sell it for what they think it's worth, because it's going to take them a lot of time to do it. So that's why you want to choose an experienced broker, so you know that you can definitely trust them and they're going to know all that stuff. So, and one more thing, if your business has assets like vehicles, real estate, buildings, inventory, all that kind of stuff, then that also gets included in the valuation on top of the actual net profit. So if you're not at that 100,000 annual net profit mark, then you'll probably have to go the route of selling it yourself unless you have some assets like commercial real estate. You can do some research and find some websites where you can list your business for sale on your own and go that route if that's where you're at. But I would recommend focusing on trying to grow your business to that 100K mark, so that you can get the highest price possible. Now, there is one exception to that $100,000 minimum net profit rule, and that's if you have an online only business. So we were able to find one broker that actually has a division that caters to online only businesses that are doing at least $10,000 a year in annual net profit. So if that's your situation, then you can also use that link in the description below to get a free valuation from them. Once again, that's online only businesses. And if you're at or above the 100K annual net profit mark, or maybe you're not quite there, but you have some valuable assets like commercial real estate to include with the sale, then the next step is going to be contacting a business broker to set up that free consultation. But before you do that, I recommend having all those profit figures that I discussed above ready to go in order for things to go as smoothly and quickly as possible, so that you can get a fair and accurate valuation from them. Otherwise, they're just guessing. You can use that link in the description below again, where you can complete an online form. And what we'll do is we'll evaluate your information and get you connected to the right business broker for your type of business and situation. So that way you can get their free professional opinion on how much they think your business is worth, what their broker fees are, which can vary wildly, and what you can expect to walk away with after the sale, so you can determine if it's the right time for you to sell. So at this point, if you're getting value from this video, I want to ask you to please hit that like button down below, subscribe to our channel so we can keep putting out helpful videos like this one, and feel free to drop a comment or question below if you have a comment or question about selling your business or your personal experience. That really helps us a lot, and we greatly appreciate it. Now, I know the million-dollar question you are probably asking right now is, what is my business worth? Maybe you don't want to talk to a broker without having some kind of general idea, and that's all right. I was the same way. So I'm going to give you a general range, but keep in mind, this is just an average. We're just going to throw some average numbers out there, and there's really no way to get a truly accurate figure without talking to a broker, but we'll do our best. Factors such as owner involvement, how established your business is, which is how much of the business relies on you, how many hours you're working in the business, and if you're replaceable, those all have a major impact on the valuation. Assets also play a major role in that, as well as your business type, your net profits, because the higher the annual net profits, then the higher the valuation is, past performance, and some other important factors. Now, I've seen some, really low demand businesses sell for 2 times net earnings, which is kind of a worst case typically. And the other high demand ones sell for 4 to 7 times net earnings. But I would say a safe low end estimate would be around 3 times earnings. plus assets and inventory, and possibly much higher, especially in this seller's market right now. I strongly recommend booking that free consultation to find out and then decide if it's right for you. Your business, might be worth twice as much as you think. So anyway, now once you have contacted a business broker to kind of get the wheels in motion, what you can expect is you can expect to have to provide profit and loss as well as bank statements for the last 3 years. That's typically the period that they look at, as well as business and personal tax returns, assets, debts, liabilities, all that kind of stuff. And maybe some other financial statements related to the business. So make sure you're able to provide that documentation, because honestly, no one's going to buy your business without being able to verify, what you're claiming in income, which is what those documents do. And if your business hasn't been around for at least 3 years, that doesn't mean you can't sell it, but the valuation will usually be a little bit lower than established businesses that have been around for at least 3 years. Because most buyers are going to want to see a history of stability, unless you're showing rapid growth. That may be different. But anyway, once you've provided all of that information and the broker publishes your listing, then most of your work is done. And as far as how long it takes on average to sell a business, it usually takes about 2 to 6 months if it's priced fairly, but it can be much quicker than that. My first 2 businesses that we sold, those sold in less than 45 days. So that is definitely a possibility in this seller's market that we're in. However, be prepared to maybe have to wait a few months. But it's really hard to put a timeline on selling your business, because it really just depends on finding the right buyer. Sometimes that can happen in a matter of days or weeks, and sometimes it can take a few months. But I can tell you from experience to be prepared to sell quickly. It might not happen that fast, but personally, I wasn't actually prepared, my wife and I, for ours to sell that fast. We really thought we had several months or longer, and it happened in less than 2 months. So make sure you have an exit strategy in mind for what you're going to do next. Unless you're retiring, then in that case, congratulations. And I'm going to be doing that soon myself. But another thing to keep in mind is that most buyers will want you to stay on for a period of 30 days for consulting and guidance. Now, this is usually provided at no extra cost. And you're definitely going to want to discuss how many hours you're available per week and all of this, during that period, so they don't try to make you work more hours than you're willing to. Now, you can try to negotiate an additional fee for that, but keep in mind that it can cause your business not to sell as quickly if you do that, because that's usually an industry standard. If the buyer asks for a consulting period longer than 30 days, then you should talk to the broker about possibly negotiating an additional cost for that. Whenever I sold my businesses, I agreed to be available for no more than 20 hours per week for 30 days after the sale at no cost. And I thought that was more than fair. And actually, I only ended up working with them for about 30 hours total the entire month. And I think I just got lucky on that, but who knows. So that's it for this video. Once again, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel below so you don't miss out on future videos like this one. Feel free to drop a comment or question below. And if you want to get connected to the right business broker to book a free consultation to discuss selling your business and what it's worth, click that link in the description below. Fill out the form. We'll analyze your data and make sure we get you connected to the right broker for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.